Hello everyone and welcome to Book Days. Today's adventure has brought us to Corpus Christi, Texas.
Today's adventure is inspired by the classic The Pout Pout Fish, written by Deborah Diesen, illustrated by Dan Hanna. This book is all about Mr. Fish, who always has a frown on his face. His friends try to help him turn his frown upside down, but all he can say is blub, blub, blub. In the end, only one special fish is able to help him. To read the entire story, find this book at your library or local bookstore today. And now, it's time to explore the Texas State Aquarium, where we are going on a search for the real-life Pout Pout fish. It's gonna be a great adventure. Let's go.
To be here at the Texas State Aquarium this morning with Kara, the Animal Conservation and Wellness Specialist, and we are here at Fish on the Bottom exhibit, where we have found none other than the pufferfish, but also a few other fish that look a little bit pouty, like our friend, the Pout Pout fish. So Kara, I'm just gonna let you take it away and explain some of these wonderful creatures here in this exhibit.
Okay, I'm happy to be here. So this is our Fish on the Bottom exhibit. This actually is meant to represent a little bit of what happens when we use artificial sources to help replace coral reefs. So coral reefs are in danger. As we all know, they're struggling in a lot of areas, so there's a lot of different substances that people have tried to put in place to help give fish homes. This is one of those. These are called kind of like oyster balls. So they put these cement balls down in the ocean, oysters grow on them and form an oyster reef, and it gives a lot of habitat for other fish. Like our scorpion fish here, who has that grumpy little pout pout face. So these guys are very well camouflaged, as you can see. If you were just skimming over the reef, it might be hard to see them. They're actually venomous, and so that's part of what helps keep them safe. Even though they have that cryptic blending camouflage in there, a predator's not gonna wanna eat them because they're not gonna feel good when they try and eat that fish. So they have large eyes and they have a really big pouty mouth. So they're what is called a lie-in-wait predator. They're gonna sit there on that rock until a fish swims by, and then they're gonna snatch at them. Also in this exhibit, we have the puffer fish. Our burrfish are coming around the corner towards the back, but when they make their appearance, you'll see that they have some little spines on their body. And these guys are called pufferfish because of the ability that they have to swallow water or air. If they're in air, they can swallow air. But they swallow water and can puff their bodies up much bigger than they are now. And that helps keep them safe from predators who might want to try and see if they can get them in their mouth.
Yeah. So from your perspective, which one more resembles the Pout Pout fish?
I am gonna vote on the scorpion fish because if you look at that little downturned mouth, he just looks like he's a little grumpy all the time.
Is there anything that could make him unpouty?
You know, feeding time is probably the closest thing. You'll actually, a lot of times we'll do what's called a target feed or a pole feed. So we'll actually stick his food on a stick because he's a little bit slower because he's a lie-in-wait predator. Aww. So the other fish tend to kind of come and steal his food before he gets it. So we'll stick food on a stick, put it in the water, and then he'll get a little quick and he'll just dart and grab it. So that's probably the closest thing that could make this guy turn that frown upside down.
Caribbean Sea exhibit, I came across a huge fish that I couldn't pass up for our Pout Pout Fish book, and it is the Goliath Grouper. Kara, can you talk about this huge, massive fish?
Absolutely. So this is Debbie. She's our Goliath Grouper here in the Caribbean Sea exhibit. And she is a very large fish, but actually she's still really small for her species. She probably weighs between 80 and 100 pounds. The last time we measured, she was about 80. And she can actually grow. Scientists believe these guys can reach 800 pounds. So she has a lot of growing left to do. They also believe that they are a very long-lived fish. And so they're a really long-lived, slow-growing fish. So I don't know how much longer it will take her to reach that 400, 500 pound range, but she has a lot of growing left to do.
That is crazy. How old is she now?
Oh, I honestly don't know the answer to that.
Like your best guess.
Aging fish is really hard. So she maybe, I have no idea. Like maybe
a kid, a teenager.
Maybe still a kid. Because she's only about 1/8 of the way through what she could become. So I would still go with a little bit of a kid. She's still a little picky, so with what she eats, so I could see that. She has a lot of growing left to do, like I said, but she has a very big mouth, and they actually don't have very big teeth.
Really?
So in order to eat,
Interesting.
they open that very big mouth, and it kind of acts like a vacuum. So that's how they get their food.
So we have made our way across the hall to the Caribbean Sea exhibit to find a fish similar to the kiss fish that turns the Pout Pout fish frown upside down. So Kara, can you explain a little bit about the fish in this exhibit and how they relate to the famous kiss fish?
This exhibit is meant to replicate the Mesoamerican coral reef, which is the second largest barrier reef in the world, second only to the Great Barrier Reef that's in Australia.
Wow.
So barrier reefs are super important because they help protect the coastline from things like hurricanes, high tides, things like that. And the fish that inhabit these reefs are what we wanted to focus on in this exhibit. So we have several different types of species. We have some grunts, some tangs, we have some squirrelfish, and we have our angelfish, which is what we think represents the kiss fish.
Yes.
So we have 4 different species of angelfish in this exhibit. We have our French angelfish back there, along that coral head. Actually, that's a gray. So that's a gray angelfish. So they have just kind of the yellow on their pectoral fins, which are those fins on the side. Coming straight at us across the exhibit, we have a French angelfish, and those two are really, really close to each other. But you'll see that the French angel actually has yellow in the body. So on those scales, and it has some yellow along that dorsal fin, which is the fin on the top. Then right here we have a queen angel with that bright yellow with a little bit of blue. And they're called a queen angel because at the center of their forehead they have a purple spot surrounded by a blue ring, and it looks kind of like a crown. And these fish eat a lot of different types and sizes of food, and so when we feed this exhibit we offer a huge variety. We have herbivores in here, and that's what those angelfish are. So they're not typically going to eat other types of fish, which makes them a little bit of an angel.
I like it. That's so awesome. And I like how these fish, they're very slender, so that really any of them could resemble the kiss fish in the book.
Yeah.
Definitely, I would probably pick one of the purple fish, because the purple fish, kiss is purple, but all of these fish are really unique and beautiful in their own way.
The purple fish you might be thinking of is this one right here. That is a Creole wrasse, and they have that beautiful purple with a little bit of blue coloration, and you might notice something a little different about the way they swim. They use those pectoral fins on the side, and they actually flap them up and down more like wings, and that's actually kind of a more rare type of swim pattern.
Yeah, wow. It's almost like a cross between a bird and a fish.
Exactly.
Thanks so much for joining us for this special episode here at the Texas State Aquarium in Corpus Christi, Texas. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming adventures. See you on the next adventure, and remember to always keep reading.
Want more book days? Well, the adventure has only begun. Check out these episodes and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming adventures.